house. Somebody arrived in a car looking for directions, so I'm just trying to be a good citizen. Took a while though because they were not of language, shall I say, but anyway, hopefully everything's fine now. I've got my glasses on, so hopefully I'll see the live chat, and if somebody could let me know if the sound and vision is okay. That will be good. I'm trying this new gimbal out today, so you'll just need to bear with me if it all goes pear-shaped, and excuse me from squinting. I'm looking into the sun and it's so low just now, it's pretty bright. That's better. This gimbal is not behaving. But anyway, just bear with me and I'll try and get it recentered. Hi Maria, thank you Ruth. Sorry about this, I'm just having a wee bit of a problem with getting this gimbal recentered, but that's better, thanks. Good. Hopefully everything's hunky-dory now. I can't see the comments very clearly, so you'll please excuse me if I miss anything out. But as I say, you'll see from where I'm walking, the sun is right in my eyes just now, so it's a wee bit difficult. Just thought I'd come out as it was such a lovely morning. Just as we're walking along the front here. Just left the house is up in the corner there. And the tide's coming in. I was actually going to hopefully walk along the beach, but the tide's in, so it doesn't give us a lot of room. We have a big transition between high and low tide at this time of year. So we'll see. Let me see if I can get the comments up. Just bear with me. No, for some reason they're not coming up, so I'll just have to go with it. Which is unusual because they started to come up in the first place, so I've no idea. I think there's 7 on and we've got 3 thumbs up. Thanks for joining us. As I say, it was really virtually impromptu and I'm sorry about the delayed start. That was me trying to be a decent human being. What I'm going to do is I'm going to walk along a wee bit further and I'm going to cut down onto the beach, hopefully. That's the trouble with walking this way at this time of year. The sun's so low in the sky that it's very, very difficult to see. Thanks, Louise. Yes, it is a nice morning. Thanks. We're getting some comments up now. So thanks for joining me, everybody. Appreciate it. Hi, David. I've got my glasses on, so I should be able to read the comments. They're just coming up and fading, so they're not giving me an actual scroll on the side. So please, as I say, bear with me. If I've missed anything out, just stick it up again. Louise is saying hi to Ruth. Morning, Ruth. Hope it's nice in Hamilton, which is about 40 minutes away from where I am just now. So there we are. I'm down on the grassy mound. That's there is the main road, the wee road into the town. And I'll just pan round and I'll let you see some of the houses along here. The tide's on its way out. It's flat calm today, there's not a breath of wind. There's actually a couple of planes were doing circuits and bumps this morning, or touch and goes as they're called now, where they do the training at Prestwick. The planes come in to land, they put all 3 wheels down and then they rotate again to get back up In fact, probably you might hear a plane in the background, hopefully. As I say, thanks Paul for joining me. It's such a beautiful morning. It's pretty cold, but it's lovely. And I was telling you about a plane. There's a Challenger Gulfstream doing a wee bit of training at Prestwick. Just coming on what's called the North Circuit, which brings it out over the sea and up towards the house and along. Right, I'm probably going to cut down onto the beach for a few minutes. Nice to see 10 on just now. Thanks, as I say, everybody for joining me. I said it was a bit impromptu. I was going to do this actually, but I saw Tim was on, so he's obviously got a far bigger audience than me, so I didn't want to interrupt while he was on. And my apologies again if you didn't hear me earlier on about the hiccup to the start this morning. So there we are. Just make my way down to the beach, and town centre's over there. Good morning, Everton. First time watching one of your lives. Thanks for joining me. Yeah, nice one, Vinny. At least we know that Tim won't be watching because he's away to see Christina. But anyway, here we go. As I say, tide's on its way out just now. We've got a wee rocky outcrop just down there, which they were going to move away years ago, but they're not allowed to because ecologically it sustains a lot of marine life. The beach was cleaned by the volunteers this morning. We had a couple of stormy days last week, and when you do get stormy days, you tend to have a lot of things washed up on the beach. But it's remarkably clean just now. So just going to walk into the town. I won't stay on too long because everybody's got things to do on a Sunday morning. I appreciate that. So glad you got a chance to come with me. I hope the sound and the vision's okay. Do you get many seals? Actually, Louise, at the end of the harbour there's an island behind the harbour. It's called Lady Isle. And when I've come into Prestwick on a couple of the vlogs that I've done flying into Prestwick, you fly over Lady Isle. That is actually a seal sanctuary. So there's 2 colonies of grey seals on that island called Lady Isle. And you sometimes see them coming into the harbour. They're actually pretty clever because they wait for the fishing boats to come back in, and you usually see about 3 or 4 of them coming back into the harbour. Harbour entrance is there. They come back into the harbour and follow the boats because at that time the crew are starting to prepare the fish for the market, because we do have a fish market in the town centre, in the harbour, and the fish from there are exported all over the world. In fact, usually along here we have an inshore boat which goes along here that actually fishes for razor clams, and most of them are exported to Spain. You'll probably see them in the Canaries as well. So they're the long clam called razor clams. So there we are. So we've got a wee burn in front of me now that I'm going to have to skip over, which flows down through one of the golf courses and obviously out to the sea. Beautiful morning. Morning, Trisha. Thanks for joining me. Just seen your comment flash up there. Nice to see you. We've got 13 on and we've got 7 thumbs up. Excellent. Thanks so much. And this is where I get wet feet crossing the burn. I've actually got my cat boots on, which are pretty waterproof, but I don't think I'm going to, seeing as you're on, I don't think I'm going to risk jumping it today, especially with the camera. It's a brand new phone as well, so I don't really want to, I know it's waterproof, but I don't really want to test it. I wouldn't mind in the summer, but certainly not with the temperature of the water. We get a lot of sand eels come up the burn here to spawn. They swim up and just across, I'll take you across the bridge, and there's a wee pool, and there's a lot of sand eels that spawn there, and then obviously go back into the sea after giving birth. You'll see it's an absolutely lovely morning here. Very cold though. In fact, I actually thought I might need my gloves to hold the gimbal, but it's not that bad. Thanks Anne-Marie for giving Ruth's channel a wee plug there. And while you're on, Anne, I'm going to thank you as well for all your help, for everybody on the YouTube community, not just myself, but everybody. The time that you give to everybody is very gracious. So thank you. Now I'll have a wee walk around here. The road forks in two there, and that takes you up to Brassey Railway Station and also to Brassey Golf Club. I hope the picture and the sound's all right. If it isn't, please somebody shout out. Now we've got the new gimbal behaving. This is this is the burn that we saw earlier on, and this is where the spawning ground is for the eels. They swim up and then go back to the sea. This is about the only wee thicket of trees for a long time along here, basically because of the wind. It tends to make growing anything higher than a couple of feet very difficult. Thank you, Anne-Marie. Thanks for that. Glad that you've given me a heads up. The sound and the picture's fine. I don't even have an external mic. I've actually got one in my bag, but I don't really need it with the phone so much as I do with the camera. So I'm glad everything's working. As you'll notice, it's a lovely walk into the town when it's like this. It takes about 20-25 minutes, and there we go. There's the Gulf Stream again on its northern loop. The water that you see lying there is from the heavy rain we had last week, and also the exceptionally high tides. We had a spring tide, and it was really quite a high one. I'm going to just come round a wee bit here. We've got Arran in the distance, as you'll notice. So that's the Isle of Arran. And as I come further round, Port of Ardrossan and Irvine Bay, and a few seagulls floating about, and back to Troon Harbour. So 15 of you on, thanks for joining me, I really do appreciate it. As I say, it wasn't scheduled or anything, it was just we'll go out. I was walking into the town anyway because today is what's called Wintertainment Day, where the town and the community come together. They have a parade through the town. Santa arrives by the lifeboat, so the kids all love it. So we're looking along here. We've got the new flats. There we go. Relatively new. Still a lot of the old traditional houses along here, but some of them have obviously moved on, and they've used the land to build some flatted accommodation. So there we are. Lovely views from there. Sorry, Tricia, was that for me? Can you vlog that? Oh yes, right. I think you're referring to the Wintertainment Day, when Santa comes by, lies by the lifeboat, and they put him on the inshore lifeboat and parade him through the town. I'm going to have a wee film of that later. I'll do an edited vlog. Thanks, Tricia. I'll do an edited vlog with that because there's a lot of children involved in the parade, and as you know what it's like putting children on YouTube, so I won't do a live vlog. I'll just do an edited vlog. I'll see how it goes, but I'll certainly try and get Santa arriving. And the lifeboat station is just where you see the chimney from the biomass place, and It comes into the harbour. Santa gets off, not very gracefully, I must add. And if you look up into the balcony, I think somebody's waving. There we are. Somebody's waving there. Yep, that's Anne. Morning, Anne. Anne's waving. That's Anne's flat that's there. Lovely. Thank you, David. Beautiful clear sky. And I was gonna actually go back down to the beach, but there's a lot of people walking on the beach, and I don't want to interrupt their walks. Actually, I will go down on the beach because I want to try and show you something I've just noticed in the corner of my eye. 13 on, thanks very much for joining me. I really appreciate it. You'll see it's a lovely expanse of sand along here in the dunes. So I'm just walking down through the dunes. There we go. And if I go down here a wee bit closer, oops, sorry there. The gimbal went a bit haywire. You can see some figures in the water, hopefully. I'll go down a bit closer. You'll see them just about there. That is actually the Wild Swimming Club, who come down every Sunday, rain, hail, sleet, snow, summer, winter, and they meet in the car park up there and all head down for their wild swimming. They take it pretty seriously. They've all got rescue floats and everything, so it's not just a haphazard thing. They do watch out safety-wise, etc. So hopefully you can see them. They're signed in the middle of the picture just now. Definitely a lot of doggy walkers out today. It's a lovely calm day, Anne-Marie, very calm, as you'll notice. And there's the wild swimmers there. Better them than me. It's bad enough swimming in there in the summer, sorry, but swimming in the winter is, and there we go, planes on another loop. It's bad enough swimming there in the summer, as I say, let alone swimming in the winter. Hope you're enjoying the wee walk with me. Thanks everybody for joining in, really appreciate it. Thank you, Louise. Reggie would love it. That's not my dog, by the way. That was somebody that was just walking along. And that's back to me. As you can see, actually I'm too warm now, so it's not that bad at all. And there we go, back to the good view. Don't want to look at my ugly mug walking along the beach. 11 thumbs up and 11 on, thank you. Thanks for joining me. Hope it's not too boring of me walking along the beach. The thing there that I was pointing out, the factory I was pointing out, that actually is a biomass plant. It takes all the residue from the sawmills and converts it into biomass, which is quite ecologically friendly. Just tracking the dog going along the beach there. Oh, there we go. Going a bit haywire now. That's better. Sorry about that. Just was doing a wee flip. Oh, so we've got somebody else that's joined us. Good morning. Thanks for joining me on this wee impromptu walk along the beach, heading into the town, getting ready for the town's Wintertainment Day here in sunny Costa del Troon. Sunny but a cold Costa del Troon this morning. See how calm the water is. It's bucolic. It's like a sheet of glass. Now, I don't know if you can see, but they've got some white tips on the Isle of Arran, and that's the snow that fell on the hills on Thursday. And if I go that way, you probably won't make it out on the screen, but I can make it with the natural eye. There's a mound in the distance there. That is actually Ben Lomond. That's up at Loch Lomond, which is about a good 65, 70 miles from here. So it shows you how clear everything is today. Right, I'm actually going to cut up through the dunes in a minute and head back to the path. Actually, I should have come out here with my shorts today. Morning. How you doing? Yeah, good, thanks. Just somebody I know walking past there, out for a walk with the dog. So the bay curves round and into the harbour. Troon is actually named after the Gaelic name for the nose, which is Antron, which is, you can see why it's called the nose. It just goes out into the water there. Give you a wee bit of a geographical lesson. Ailsa Craig, which is the other side of the harbour, is a volcanic plug, and the rock that the harbour's built on is all basalt, which was a volcanic fissure many, many moons ago. I knew my A-level geography would come into play sooner or later. It was something I nearly actually studied, was volcanology. That's why I love going to Tenerife and just seeing all the landscapes and everything there. Okay, I'm going to cut up through the dunes. Looks as if there's been a wee bit digging going on around here. And takes us back onto the beach path. I've no idea how long I've been on. Is it about 23 minutes? Obviously, when I'm walking in and not filming, I go a lot quicker than this, but there we are. Just tracking the wee dog. It's a dog walker's paradise in here, round about here. And we'll go back along the shorefront and back to me again. So we've virtually walked all the way along to here, and there's another free car park up here for anybody that's driving down to the shore for the day. They can park up for nothing. And also, you might see some camper vans. This is actually an overnight camper van place. They can park up here. I think it's a nominal fee of about £5 a night. They have a wee shower block and toilets just in there. And obviously been able to park your camper van right on the beach. It's a lovely spot. If anybody's got any questions, please put them up. I'll try and answer them. As I say, it's a wee bit difficult seeing the screen with the sun because it's so low, but I'll certainly do my best. It was actually one of my viewers asked me about the camper van park because he was coming up from down south and he wanted to get some places to park up, and he actually came up here and stayed for about 4 nights. He said it was so central to the town and all the amenities, and obviously right on the beach. So this is the free car park for cars and a nominal fee for camper vans and caravans that want to stay overnight. And it's only about a 5-minute walk here to the town centre. So it's nicely positioned, and between the 2 caravans there's a block of flats, and that's right next to Morrison's supermarket. So it's nice and handy even for the shops. So there we are. Please tell me if this is going on a bit, because quite happy to sign off, but thanks everybody for joining me. There we go. Just come round. That's the main road into the town. Service bus. It's not the free bus. They run a free bus on Wintertainment Day to bring people down to the town. So if they want to have a bite of eat and a couple of drinks, they do have to bring their car, alleviates the parking, and also driving home after a couple of drinks, which is not recommended. In fact, it's a no-no totally. So there we are, there's camper vans. A couple of wee Westies and all there, by the looks of it. Yep. Or the Cairn Terriers. No, I think they're Cairns. So thanks everybody for joining me. Really do appreciate it. Nice to see we've still got 13 on. So I'm going to cut across the car park and head back to the path to take us into the town. Thanks Tricia, it is a lovely stretch along here. It's funny actually you saying that my father was brought up in Hamilton, and his mum didn't have a lot of money, but she always managed. My dad's father died when he was 5, so it was quite a hardship in those days. You didn't get the handouts that you do nowadays. And she always managed to take the family down to the coast for a wee holiday. And Troon was one of the places they used to come to all the time. So it was full circle for my dad. Place where he came down as a child. And he passed away 7 years ago. He loved it in Troon. Lived all over, but he loved it down here. It's such a lovely place to live. So we're just heading into the town centre. As I say, this normally takes about 20-25 minutes from the house to walk in, but obviously with the gimbal I've been a bit slower today. So there we are. We've got a wee copse of trees there. There's actually some salt ponds in the middle of the trees there. When the tide, get a high tide or a storm tide, it sort of just tops them back up. Right in the middle of the picture, that's the steeple from the parish church, which is under threat because obviously church going congregations are dropping dramatically, and they're trying to save it. It's going to cost millions apparently to get the roof sorted, but I think it's going to be one of these churches that's probably going to turn into a block of flats soon. 15 on now. Thanks for joining me. As I say, any questions, please give me a shout. I'll try my best to answer them. As I say, I repeat myself, but it is a wee bit difficult reading the screen just now because of walking into the sun. But anyway, this path is actually a part of the national cycle route around Scotland, and it's also a pedestrian and a cycle path. The cycle route, if you were to cycle on the path here, it would take you all the way down to the south of Ayrshire and along the Dumfries and Galloway coastal route down to Carlisle. So it'd be a fair cycle. A lot of people do it though. You see them coming past on bikes with loads of backpacks and stuff. There's cyclists coming along. Morning. Gave me a wee wave on the way past. So if you want me to stay on, please say. If not, I know everybody's got a lot of things to do, so quite happy to say cheerio. But I will stay on if you want me to. Better, I've just centred the gimbal again. It's actually a good gimbal, this. Once I get the hang of using it, this is the first time I've actually used it, but it's got a lot of features on it that I'll need to experiment with. As long as it's good quality picture and sound for you guys watching at home. Oh, right, sorry Trisha, I missed on that. Stay on, lovely walk. Thank you, Anne. Yes, now I'm next in Tenerife officially on the 20, I think it's about the 19th of May, but we're there for 3 weeks. Okay, I will stay on, thank you, Louise. So, about the 19th of May, and we're there for 3 weeks. And we're going to do something a wee bit different. I'm not going to spill the beans just now, but we're going to do a wee 2-centre trip this time. We're going to be in one hotel, one for a few days, and then another hotel for the rest of the time. So it'll be a wee bit different. So this is us heading to the town. On my left is wee sheltered accommodation for pensioners. They've also got a warden there. What a beautiful view they've got looking out over the sands at the head of the bay. Arn in the distance. You can actually see one of the ferries on the horizon over there. Yep, so this is a sheltered accommodation. It's called Pamrock Court. They have a warden there to keep everybody safe and sound. And they have a 24-hour alarm. If any of the residents need it, they just have to press the alarm. So it's a nice wee place for a sheltered housing. Yeah, it's got its own wee car parking area. David, June, 1st of June, so there we are. So we've got a wee bit of a crossover. It'll be nice to see you. I'll get out of the way of these guys coming along. I've nothing against cyclists, but they tend to think that they rule the road. Trisha, yeah, I hope to see you. That would be nice to meet up. The 30th of May will certainly be there. I think it's about the 9th of June we come back. So, obviously, you know, I was supposed to be there. Anne and I were supposed to be there in October, but obviously circumstances overtook that. And so this is really the first time that we've had to organise a trip back. But Anne's going to take her daughter over for her 60th birthday. They're going for a week in April, so they'll enjoy that. I'm not going with them this time. I'll probably have some things to sort out here anyway, and it's nice to get mother and daughter time as well. So they're heading there in April, and then we go back in May. So I'm happy to stay on if you want me to. Dorothy just waved to me, our next door neighbour just went past in the car. She actually plays the organ in the Church of Scotland, so she's obviously just come back from, and the Gulf Stream's just heading past up there. And on my left is another housing association houses there. So there we are. And the flats on the corner that we're coming up to are actually owner occupied, but again, they're retirement flats and they have a 24-hour. Thanks, Louise. Yep, it will be soon made June. It'll soon come round, I can assure you. It's going to be a busy 2 or 3 months getting my mum's estate and everything sorted out, which always takes time. Half the time I think that lawyers take the time because they think they're going to line their pockets, but hey ho, it's one of these things. And there's coming up to the retirement flats. They've got nice balconies overlooking the sea. You can see the road's getting a bit busier now. And there we go. So we've walked virtually right along from there where you see the end of the houses all the way and followed the bay all the way along. There's a wee car park here on the left which services the town and also people that maybe come down to the coast for the day but are nearer to the facilities in the town. And there we go. That was built by McCarthy and Stone. I think they do a lot of retirement flats, etc. I don't know why I'm talking about retirement flats. I could go in there. Certainly old enough now. 15 on, thanks for joining me. Hope you're not too bored stiff. And when I was saying earlier on about the camper vans which are down there, they just have a 5-minute walk along, and this is Morrison's supermarket here, and Troon swimming pool and gym, indoor pool and gym. We used to have an outdoor Lido for years, but that was a victim of the fact it was going to cost too much money to keep in operation. It was actually a saltwater pool, and it was right down the shorefront in Troon, and it used to fill up when the tide came in and refreshed when the tide went back out. The hut on the left there, that's the Boys Brigade headquarters. There's a big following, the Boys Brigade in Troon, and also the Boys Brigade pipe band in Troon has won so many competitions, the Black Rock Pipe Band. So there we are. They'll be in this parade today. I'll try and show you that later. Well, I'll film it and show you it later. And this is a lovely spot here, the recycling depot, where residents can book in. If they've got anything to throw away, they can book a recycling slot and they can go in there and take various bits and pieces. I think South Ayrshire Council's one of the leading authorities in Scotland now for recycling. I think 70% of rubbish is recycled, so all good for the environment. And there's Morrison's, looking down into the town centre that way. I'm just going to go around this way because I'm going to get a good view from the top of the bank. I'll explain how this bank arrived here. I've been on for 39 minutes, so thanks for all those that are staying with me. It's not a very attractive part of the walk, this bit, but obviously as you come into the town centre, it's a bit more industrial. But there we go. So we're going to come up to a bank and I'll give you the reasoning why it's here, because it was dead flat when I was at school at Troon, which wasn't yesterday. The recycling facility is getting well used this morning. The good thing is though, you book a time on the local authority website, and it means that it never gets too busy because they only allow a certain amount of vehicles in at a certain time. That's true, Tricia. Certainly is. I know a family in Troon who built up quite an empire recycling rubbish, and they're very, very wealthy. Got a beautiful house in Portugal and retired there now, so just shows you. Right, so I'm just gonna go across the road here. Well, the exit from the recycling bay, and give you a wee bit of history why this embankment's here. Because as I said, when I was brought up in Troon, this was dead flat. I'll need to watch my feet because it's pretty wet with the heavy rain we had. Right, so in the foreground there, you can see lots of masts from yachts and stuff. That is actually Troon Yacht Haven. And when they dredged the yacht haven out, the soil and the sand that came out of the yacht haven was put here, and they created this grassy bank. And it also protects the town a lot from the wind during the winter months, which can be pretty ferocious here. So all this bank all the way along here was created with the spoils that came out of the Troon Marina there. So you can see the harbour a bit better now. You see Arran in the distance, and I'll come along all the way along the shorefront, and the houses right along at the end there was where we walked from. So there we are. So that's about 42 minutes. If you want me to stay on, I'll stay on, but I don't want to bore you all to tears. This is a lovely wee stretch of sand here. Actually, if the tide was out, there's actually a shipwreck just about there. When the tide goes out, it's exposed. It was an old fishing boat from the 1800s. And there's not much of it left now, but it's still, you can still see obviously the shape of it. You can see the keel and the groins that go up to make the side of the boat. But it's been there for years. And it's a haven for wildlife, so obviously it's just been left. Looking up the coast a wee bit, I'll point out some places for you. That's the Cock of Arran, which is the end of Arran. Every time I put my finger up, it goes and focuses on my finger. But towards the Cock of Arran, the next island up, that is Bute. Through the gap there, which you can't see from this angle, you can see the Paps of Jura, which is about 72 miles. You can see them from the house. So Bute, you've got behind the hills there, you've got Cumbria, Little Cumbria and Great Cumbria, where the ferry goes from Largs. I'll wait for this to refocus itself. And the ferry goes from Largs, and the town at the end of the headland there, that's Ardrossan, where the ferry goes to Arran from Ardrossan and also from Troon. The Glen Sannocks, the new ferry's in for repair again, so it's not sailing just now. So they've got the catamaran sailing from Troon, and the Caledonian Isles, which is just back from repair again, that's sailing from Ardrossan. So there we are. Okie dokie, well, I think I've been on long enough. Just want to say thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. Without your support, this wouldn't be possible. So thanks so much. And remember, if you got anything, please drop me a line in the comments and I can answer them later on when I get back to home. I will try and film the parade later on as for the Wintertainment Day, and we'll see you on the next one hopefully. So until then, this is Alan from Alan's Homemade Vlogs saying a cheerio from sunny Troon on the west coast of Scotland, and it is sunny today. So there we go. Thanks so much for joining me. I appreciate it. Thank you, Tricia. It's been a nice walk for me as well, so I hope you've enjoyed it too. But anyway, see you on the next one. Thanks very much. I appreciate it. Bye for now.